Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another coffee rant with Dano and Frank, the Patriot Bald Eagle. If you have to hit pause on this video to get your coffee or whatever beverage you deem necessary, go ahead and do that now, as this will be a lengthy discussion. Guys, we have a lot of news to discuss tonight. First of all, I want to say thoughts and prayers to everyone who was involved with Hurricane Milton and Hurricane Helene. These were back-to-back events, and people are just... there's just devastation all over the place. I've seen video clips of Tropicana Field getting its roof ripped off, or at least part of the roof ripped off. People's homes. 3.5 million people out of power. Also, today is October 10th, 2024, just for point of reference. The storm has moved out, but it's still carrying, from what we see, there's still some back winds, I guess, some back rains that are cycling back around. So I know I was watching real early this morning. Daytona looked like it was getting hit pretty good. Apparently Orlando didn't get a lot of damage. There were weather guys on TV that were saying they didn't even see lights flickering in Orlando. So I assumed that the storm had weakened as it was over land and then maybe picked up again once it hit the East Coast. Not really too sure. They're still assessing all the damage and everything. Let me let you guys know, though. I know a lot of people were worried about your families. Our family is safe. Our family is safe. Everyone, we've been in contact with everybody. They're all safe. Hopefully all of your friends and family are safe as well. I don't want to take away from the storm, but it looks like it wasn't as bad as it could have been. What was bad was the tornadoes. The tornadic activity all throughout Florida was absolutely insane ahead of the hurricane. And I don't think I can only imagine preparing for a hurricane and thinking to hunker down inside, and then all of a sudden a tornado comes up out of nowhere. Now, at one point they were saying, I don't know how many were actually spotted, but they were saying there was 130 total tornado warnings. Now, whether those were in populated areas or not, I know then I've seen a number like 34 tornadoes, so I don't know, not really sure what that means. Maybe some touched down and just wasn't verified. Not really too sure. But again, we have some other things we have to cover right now. But all of our thoughts and prayers to everyone who was involved in that. I'll tell you, it's just these hurricanes are crazy. They really are. And thoughts and prayers with everyone involved. 10 million pounds, almost 10 million pounds of ready-to-eat meat recall by Bruce Pack out of Oklahoma has been recalled. 9.9 million pounds of meat. That's interesting. And of course, this one is due to listeria. As we know, listeria has been an ongoing issue. We know that was huge with Boar's Head not that long ago. And Boar's Head, there was something like 59 hospitalizations and 10 deaths scattered out over a few different states. And whether that's ongoing or not, I haven't seen anything about it lately. So I don't know if the kibosh has been put on that. Only time will tell. These things seem to poke their ugly head up out of the ground once we stop talking about them. We'll find them resurface. Like this egg thing we're going to go over here in just a few minutes. So I'm reading from Newsweek, but it is all over the place. It's on USA Today. The reason why I'm reading from Newsweek is because they have the list on here. That was kind of the scary thing about this that I was reading, is they're talking about this huge, enormous recall, and nobody knew where it was. It was like all these ads. I had a couple people send me emails about it last night and everything, but it was like these articles didn't say what it was, where it came from. So you would be left in, not knowing which is affected. You could be sitting in your home last night and not know which meat is affected. Now, I don't know if there was more of an investigation and they just wanted to throw this out here right away, but I like the facts and I like to know what is affected. So we're going to go over that here. So again, this article's in Newsweek. Products involved in the nationwide recall of nearly 10 million pounds of meat were revealed in a list provided by the U.S. Food Safety and Inspection Service, or the FSIS, on Wednesday. So it just happened. Oklahoma-based Bruce Pack, that is B as in boy, RUCE, Bruce, like the name Bruce, and then Pack, all one word, but capital PAC. So Bruce Pack, like PAC. So, and they are recalling 75 different ready-to-eat meat and poultry products over fears they may be contaminated with listeria. Listeriosis, an infection caused by listeria bacteria, primarily affects older adults, people with weakened immune systems, and pregnant women, and can be serious or fatal. The products affected, now pay attention here, because I'm not going to go over this enormous list here, but they do have the list on Newsweek. So if you have products, ready-to-eat meat products by Bruce Pack, I would pay attention. The products affected have, quote, Best By, end quote, dates between June 19th, 2025. Again, these are the Best By dates. Okay. Between June 19th, 2025 and October 8th, 2025. And bear the establishment numbers. This is important. The establishment numbers on the packages is, quote, 51205. Again, that is 51205, or P as in Paul dash 51205. Okay, so P as in Paul dash 51205. So it'll have the same number, or one of them that has P as in Paul dash. Both the numbers are 51205, but some of them may have a P in front of it dash that number. Inside or under the USDA mark of inspection. So make sure you check under the inspection by the USDA. They were distributed to stores, restaurants, and other establishments, and the FSIS has expressed concerns that contaminated ready-to-eat meat and poultry may still be on store shelves or in consumers' kitchens. This is the information they were giving last night, okay? They were giving this information last night without the products that were involved. I didn't even see Bruce Pack. I didn't even know the company. But they were saying this, like, you know, we're afraid that it might be in your fridge or at the store, or at, you know, in the, restaurants, but we don't know the name yet. I was a little disturbed by that, so I wanted to wait until today to talk about this. I figured they would have this close, you know, they would be, you know, I guess they had to do a little more investigating. Product list for ready-to-eat meat and poultry that may be contaminated with listeria, and this is where they give the list. And it says it could be fatal. Consumers are being advised to throw away or return affected products. Now, keep in mind, this is by Bruce Pack out of Oklahoma, and there are a ton of different items that are on this list, and it gives the product code. I guess the FDA hasn't talked about a risk class yet, but I'm assuming that it's going to be a class 1, because everything with listeria that we've ever seen that has been a proven fact is always listed as a class 1. Throw it away. Don't throw it away. Get your money back. Oh, what am I saying? Get your money back, guys. Make sure you call the company, get your money back. The only way they're going to ever learn is if they pay for it. And if you paid for it and you throw it away, then they win. They got your money, and that's it. They don't have to, then there's no worry about it. For them, get your money back. Okay. Let's see. Listeria was discovered by the FSIS during a routine inspection of a product containing Bruce Pack ready-to-eat poultry products, which tested positive for listeria. Further investigation by the FSIS confirmed that Bruce Pack chicken was the source, and the recall of nearly 10 million pounds of Bruce Pack meat was announced on Wednesday. They can give some different things about listeria here. We'll go over this. Yeah, we've gone over this stuff before, but listeria affects approximately 1,600 people a year in the U.S., according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and it is the third leading cause of death from foodborne illnesses, killing about 20% of those infected. So far, no cases of illnesses have been reported in relation to these Bruce Pack products, but those at high risk of listeria who experience flu-like symptoms within 2 months of consuming potentially contaminated products should seek medical help and tell their healthcare provider, the FSIS has advised. And we do know, we've read that it could fester around in the body for 60 to 70 days. So take note of that if you happen to eat any of this, right? Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It really is. It's crazy. And these just keep going, guys. These recalls just keep going. And we have more with updates. Like I said, the egg thing we're going to talk about here in just a minute. Listeria symptoms Listeria symptoms may include fever, muscle aches, headache, stiff neck, confusion, loss of balance, diarrhea, and convulsions. In pregnant women, listeriosis can spread to the fetus and cause miscarriages, stillbirths, or premature delivery, or the baby can be born with listeria, which could be fatal. And they go on to talk about immune-compromised people this could affect as well. It has the possibility to affect anyone. You can be healthy as a horse, and it could still affect you. It may not, right? Because this could be a lot bigger and greater. And we've heard different companies come out and say that there's probably, not with this yet, but we've heard through other things like different companies that have found salmonella, listeria, different products like these that have had these on the products. Some people may not even get sick. Some people may not even get a cold or anything. So, it's a roll of the dice. I'll tell you what, guys, it's just one thing after another. They go on to say this right here. Earlier this year, Boar's Head deli meat products were voluntarily recalled due to listeria contamination. The incident resulted in 59 hospitalizations and 10 deaths. Wow for Dano for the memory here. Okay, so that is it for that. Make sure you check out news. I'm sure it's on the FDA. That's where they get these numbers from. So you can check out the FDA's website for these product numbers. This may grow as well. This may get bigger. These things have the tendency to get bigger. Like this egg recall that we're about to unravel here. And this has been going on for a while here. Okay. So, let me see here. Okay. And this is from USA Today. We've talked about this, we've covered this, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So we need to discuss this again because it's nuts. And there's no other way to put it. I mean, I'm trying to look at a better word, but it's just nuts. It is crazy. And at least we're finding it, I guess. And their article is FDA upgrades recall of eggs linked to salmonella to serious health risks or death. The Food and Drug Administration in late September upgraded a previous egg recall alert to warn consumers of serious reactions and possible death if consumed. The recall was originally announced September 6th. I remember covering this back then. September 6th by the Centers for Disease and Control and Prevention and was upgraded September 30th to a Class 1, which we covered that as well. A product that will, quote, will cause serious adverse health consequences or death, end quote. The original recall notification stated 65 people in 9 states were infected with salmonella linked to eggs supplied by Milo's Poultry Farms, LLC, which some people on the channel were saying that they had just pitched theirs. So, good. Again, I will say, though, get your money back. Get your money back. The only way they win is if you don't. Okay, so let me go over that again here. The original recall notification stated 65 people in 9 states were infected with salmonella linked to eggs supplied by Milo's Poultry Farms, LLC, from May 23rd to August 10th. No deaths were reported, but 24 people were hospitalized, according to the CDC. And again, this could be another instance where many, 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 many more were affected, okay? And you just didn't know it. You just didn't know it. Because, I mean, the fact that was spread out, okay, over this many states, yeah. I mean, if I was a gambling man, I would say that a lot more people were affected or infected, I should say, by this. But yeah, I mean, I guess, if you don't call and let people know, I guess you're not a number. So Milo's Poultry Farms is in Bandul, Wisconsin, about 29 miles north of Green Bay. The small business grocery store has voluntarily recalled all of its eggs supplied by its farm, the FDA said. The recalled eggs were distributed to retailers and food service distributors in Wisconsin, Illinois, and Michigan, the agency said. Milo's Poultry Farms said that they have pulled the recalled eggs from store shelves and have been working with the FDA. Well, you better. Quote, we have not put more eggs on the market, end quote. Milo Bontrager, the owner of Milo's Poultry Farms, told USA Today, end quote. Quote again, at this point, we've just went through a complete cleaning and sanitation cycle, and we're just working through whatever paperwork they require for us. Quote, the health and safety of our customers is our top priority. We are fully cooperating with the FDA on their investigation and have taken immediate action by removing all affected products related to this recall from our shelves. Quote, Marissa Kutansky, a spokesperson for Heritage Grocers Group, the owner of Tony's Fresh Market, previously told USA Today. Okay, so let's see. Okay, according to the FDA, all carton sizes with expiration dates of October 12th and earlier for following brand eggs are being recalled, and those are Milo's Poultry Farms, M&E Family Farms, and Tony's Fresh Market. I didn't know about M&E Family Farms because originally I believe this was just directed at Milo's and Tony's, but I guess M&E is part of it as well. The alert also includes duck eggs brand Happy Quakers Farm, sold in a 12-count carton packaged by Milo's Poultry Farms. Quote, none of our eggs are on consumer shelves anymore, Bontrager said. Quote, we are hoping to be back in production in a couple weeks, but we don't know that. We have to go by what the FDA and the state decides. And this is a list of the different states that have reported cases of the salmonella. Which states have reported cases of salmonella? The investigation said these states had reported cases linked to the outbreak. California, Colorado, Iowa, Illinois, Michigan, Minnesota, Utah, Virginia, and Wisconsin. So this has gotten pretty big. And here they have another list. How many people have gotten sick? 9 states have reported cases of salmonella linked to the egg recall cases in each state. We'll go over these. So California, 2 cases. Colorado, 1 case. Iowa, 2 cases. And again, it could be a lot bigger, right? It's going to get a little crazy here. So we'll go. California has 2 cases. Colorado, 1 case. Iowa, 2 cases. Illinois, 11 cases. Getting closer here, getting closer to Wisconsin. Michigan, 2 cases. Minnesota, 3 cases. Utah, 1 case. Virginia, 1 case. Wisconsin, 42 cases. It is spreading. The CDC investigation broke down the demographics of the 65 cases reported of the egg recall. People who contracted salmonella were ages 2 to 88. 56% were female and 46% were male. The race majority for the 65 cases was white at 92%, African American at 5%, and Asian at 3%. What should you do if you have the recalled eggs? Get your money back. We'll go over this. Consumers, restaurants, and retailers should do the following if they have the recalled eggs. Number 1, do not eat. Do not eat, sell, or serve. Do not eat, sell, or serve chicken eggs produced by Milo's Pantry Farms, Poultry Farms, and distributed to restaurants and retailers in Illinois, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Carefully clean and sanitize any surfaces or containers the eggs have touched. Dispose of any eggs you believe may be linked to the recall. Wash your hands, utensils, and surfaces with hot, soapy water before and after handling raw eggs and food containing raw eggs, which you should do anyway. Contact your healthcare provider as soon as possible if you believe you may have developed symptoms of a salmonella infection after eating eggs. And then they go on here on USA Today, what is salmonella, and then symptoms. We'll go over the symptoms here, but if you want the explanation, you can check out USA Today's website. According to the CDC, common symptoms of salmonella include stomach cramps, diarrhea, and a fever higher than 102 degrees, diarrhea for more than 3 days that will not improve, bloody diarrhea, vomiting and inability to keep liquids down, and signs of dehydration. Okay, well, there you have it, guys. That is the Dano news of the day. There's constant recalls all the time. I always recommend that you should always check online to see what new recall it is today or tomorrow. I know I haven't been covering them as much. There's a huge one, like 10 million pounds of ready-to-eat meat, I guess mostly poultry. Sounds like that might be all of it, but make sure you check. This is the Bruce Pack, Bruce, P-A-C, all one word, Bruce Pack, and the lot numbers that we gave there. Check for these things. If you have any of these products in your fridge, get your money back because, you don't want them. If you're not getting your money back, then they've made that money, and it is that, maybe they'll start cleaning facilities and start double checking and running better labs, right? Better labs to check all this stuff before it hits the shelves, and I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a lab technician or any of these guys. These things could pop up. They could pop up, things happen, but boy, are they happening a lot these days, guys. Again, our thoughts and prayers with everyone with Hurricane Milton. I will give future updates on the family and friends, and feel free to let us know down in the comments. We have thousands of viewers in Florida. Let us know that you're safe and that your family is safe. We're just getting hit with these hurricanes one after the other, and our thoughts and prayers are with you. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.